And she said, now with all the coins coming in, I'm lining up with the bank. It may be $2, maybe $1. She said, sometimes, okay, makay mandua, na line it go na tella, to deposit that money, that little coins that she was saving. But she said, I've placed it in my heart that I will save, which she did. And she was sharing last night, now their car is on maintenance, it's in the garage. That saving grew from the pandemic, just this, this period. And saving. So that coins, those coins added up. And now, with that saving, she bought the parts of the car, and now it's in the garage being fixed. And she said, I couldn't believe with my saving, it's happening. And she said, I regretted in not doing it any earlier. I was exposed to it. I saw it happening. I was doing it for somebody else, but I didn't think that I could do it for myself. And now, even as they are managing their rent, and she said every time she challenged herself, I will pay a month's rent in advance. And she writes it in her list, like what is, we've been sharing. Write your list, the operating cost now, the living, cost now, your short term, your mid term. So she wrote it down and said to herself, and always, believe and commit to the Lord, that she would like to pay 1 month in advance of her rent, of their family rent. And that has been happening. And she said, come a moment that, like it's not happening, like she looks and it's not happening. And last 2 Sundays, as they were at home, straight after the service, because for those of you that usually join and follow us on the God of our Nation on Sunday, like tomorrow at 10:30, she always followed that program as well. So she stood up and we were encouraging people, telling them, okay, we are praying for this prayer box that we usually do for people who have written in their list, activating or sitting or, believing to happen in their life, rebellious children, rangers, or whatever that you have in your list will come, because as we have your Holy Communion, you need to believe. We're not going to be doing it for you. The church is not going to be doing it for you, not us, nothing to do with us, but you're going to believe that the supernatural power of God is going to do it for you. I'm sharing that because you may be in the same forum as her or facing through a situation. You say to yourself, no, I have no hope. Well, there is hope. And there is always a light at the end of the tunnel. Well, just to finish my story, and she walked up to the Holy Communion on Sunday, and she held her list, very dear to her heart, and asking God, okay, all she was asking for, the 1 month in advance for her rent. And she was standing there hoping, because she knew it was due, but she couldn't. And she stood there. And last night, as she shared, she said, straight after that service, they received a text from this particular lady. And then she said, we have decided as a couple, because we are activating or we are sitting and naming our seat for something that we are sitting on as a family or as a couple, we have been led to sit to your rent for the whole year. I mean, who does that? For the whole year. So last night, as she shared, I find that very inspiring, just by writing the list. Look, this couple, they don't work. They do full-time in the ministry. None of them is getting an earning, either weekly or fortnightly. And remember, as they come in agreement, they write it down. That is why we are telling you the importance of planning. And not only that, don't look down on your life to say, I don't have the education. Like one Kaselev said, achieving or earning something doesn't always have to do with a pen and paper. Doesn't have to do with the academic achievement. Some of us are very good academically. Congratulations, you were good. You continue to go. You have your master's or maybe your PhD. You're earning as much. You have a good position. Money is good and life is good. Congratulations. But for most of us, we hardly have anything. Maybe you were a school dropout because of a situation beyond your control. You just don't have the money to continue. Or maybe one of your parents, passed on. Or maybe you were child of wedlock and you are moving from one home to another. The only thing that is your priority is at least to have a shelter over your head and to have something, to eat to make you alive. All the other elements and other aspects of life is never in your list because they don't become a priority to you. Well, the sharing that we do every Saturday is to benefit every human being and every individual, regardless of the life that you're going through and regardless of the life that you may be facing right now. And if it can happen to a lot of people who have testified, who have shared their own story, we believe it can also happen to you. So all you need to do is to continue to write.